Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's Belle Collective Season 1, Episode 7, entitled Sistervention. I give a full episode recap with photos offset to the side, and then I give my review at the end. No need to dig around. I have all of the minute marks in the comments. It's all coming up next. So Kaylin invites Latrice, Antoinette, and Melanie to a quote girls' day out. But the ladies on the way there joke about how I hope she didn't invite us to a plantation, child, because we are in the middle of nowhere. None of the ladies are dressed for being outside in nature, but luckily there are some boots and hats that they provided at the farm. Dr. Cindy Elliott, owner of Footprint Farms, says that she wants to show Kaylin a few of her goats because Kaylin wants to purchase a goat for landscaping purposes. Latrice updates all the ladies about her anniversary and how it was nice and her husband planned all of this great stuff, but unfortunately she kind of ruined it by bringing up some uncomfortable conversations. So she felt it was only right to have another dinner and another celebration because she wanted her husband to know that she loves him and she wants to make everything right, and moving forward she's going to try her best not to mention things that make him uncomfortable, so far as saying that he's interested in other ladies or making comments about other ladies. And from what we saw from the last episode, her husband was very upset about that, and that wasn't the case. So in order to move on, they celebrate that things are right in her marriage and that she had a good celebration and a good anniversary, and they cheers for the best things to come and resetting. Marie meets with Dr. Chandler along with her son Jerez and his two other babies' moms. And Dr. Chandler even jokes about how he doesn't make house calls, but understands that this is necessary due to the distance between everyone, and that having this middle ground of Marie's home would be great. Marie feels that meeting with everyone will help develop some type of family structure and that everybody should have a platform of communication. But Marie is disappointed that Cedric didn't show up, and he's been a no-show and not coming to the house, but she can't think about Cedric right now. She's trying to get things situated with her son and his baby's moms. One of the mothers couldn't make it because they had prior engagement, but Marie wants the ladies to express themselves and things that they need from Jerez. And Tori just says, I just want Jerez to be the best person he can be, so he can be the best person for his son. That's all I want. And KK also, she's understandable of that as well. And she's understanding that Jerez is in school and he can't visit as much as he wants, but his presence is needed as much as possible. And KK didn't grow up with her dad, so she stresses that she really wants her child to have their father in their lives. And Marie wants Jerez to be to the first point of contact instead of her. She's frustrated that the mothers will go straight to her and request things or talk about things instead of going to Jerez because he's the parent. They are the parents. She also says that I'm happy to be a grandmother, but everything that I'm dealing with, these are your children. These are your responsibilities. And I wish that I could just stop whenever I wanted to and just have my grandchildren all day, but I just can't. There's just things that are just limiting me from that. My health. And I know I look like I'm well, but my health is declining. I wish I could do that everything with my grandbabies and watch them all the time, but I just cannot. She even mentions in a production clip that I wish I could run around with my grandbabies, but I also have fibromyalgia, which is like a double whammy. Marie continues to tell everyone that I take 12 pills a day and an injection. And when I take that medication, I can't fully function properly without someone else being there. I've even skip medications in order to stay alert when I watch the kids, but I shouldn't be skipping any medications. That's just not a good thing for my health. And Jerez wants to step up, take the pressure off of his mom, and just do the best that he can. And KK says to Tori, I really want us to be friends. I mean, I'm not saying we got to be like best friends or nothing like that, but I want to make sure that we have good communication for the sake of the children. And Tori says that she thinks that's a wonderful idea, and not to take her body language as offensive or anything, but she's just naturally a low-key, chill person, and she doesn't want her to take it wrong. So So the girls just naturally agree that talking to each other more and communicating is a good suggestion, and that they're going to move forward with that. Marie's very happy to hear that. Jerez is very happy to hear that. And they're all working on having better communication across the board. Antoinette meets with someone that she met in Ghana after her divorce, and his name is David. And he was understanding that she just got out of a divorce and didn't want to rush anything, so they just started this platform of a good friendship. And also, David was fresh out of a divorce, and he felt the same way emotionally. So they just reminisced about their trip, how they just vibed off of one another. And David lives in Seattle and can't go to her sip and see, but wants the updates about the dental practice and wants to keep communication about what's new, because he wants to learn more about her and develop a friendship and possibly something that could develop into something more. But they both know that they're pumping the brakes on trying to take stuff so seriously. Antoinette loves his vibes, but she's kind of like not taking it so seriously because he lives in Seattle. And David just says, I just want to go day by day. Let's have more dates and develop whatever is to come. And Antoinette agrees. Marie calls Essie over because Cedric hasn't been returning any of her calls. He doesn't come home. And Essie's just like, I just think you just need to rethink everything. This is typical behavior from Cedric. And the fact that you just keep accepting it's just the worst. This is something that you just really need to consider. When you're calling him, we've also discovered that he leaves his phone in his truck here. So you calling him doesn't do anything. He's purposely leaving his phone to where he can't answer. So what you're going through, you've got to make a decision, because his behavior is not good. He's not behaving like a husband. He's very secretive. He leaves for days at a time. You need to let this situation go. His whole situation, this marriage, is just not sounding healthy to me. Lateshia and Tambra meet up because Lateshia wants to talk to Councilman and apologize about the behavior that happened at the brunch and to see how he feels about everything. And Tambra assures that if he said that he's going to walk you through it, he'll walk you through it. He has a personality. He's always kept his word. So Councilman Stamps arrives and he says hello to the ladies, and she's called and sent emails to a lot of people, and she's trying to understand why she's not getting any responses from people that she's talked to. It seems like she's hit a roadblock and she can't get into the building. She can't get specs, and I need those things to create the business plan info, and I can't get into the building. If I can't get into the building, I can't get the things physically in order to get everything for the building. And Stamp says it's okay. Remember I told you there's going to be some ups and some downs. So how did the brunch end up? And they share a quick laugh. And Lateshia says, I apologize for everything that occurred at the brunch. And that's not my platform. That's not what I stand for. And Tambra says, I can vouch for that because I've done these brunches for over 5 years and nothing like that has ever occurred. And Stamp says that I don't stand for anything like that. So I had to leave because of my position and family and everything like that. So that factors in why this is a big, small town. Like, word gets around fast. And people had reservations because of the events that followed at the bruncheon. And Tambra is disappointed that everyone's talking about this bad situation instead of all of the good things that have happened at the brunches for over 5 years, and that people are just focusing on that. And Stamp says that he wants to move forward and keep this moving, but kindly reminds Lateshia that always be on the lookout for things that can be avoided and anything that's going to shine a negative light on what she's trying to do. And she thanks him for the honesty and the fairness and discipline and everything that's happening. And he shares that he's always been helpful and he was really close to pulling out of everything that was happening, but he remembered that he gave his word, and also he stayed because of Tambra. Tambra meets with Damon, and she applauds him for putting forth the effort and meeting up with her more and trying to bring some more of the romance back. And she doesn't want to bring up everything that's happening with the drama with the friends, but feels that she needs to talk to someone about it. And she says Lateshia is, she's my friend, and I want everyone to get along and people to talk directly to one another instead of talking to other people about it and bringing up the brunching and all this other stuff. So she wants to have a sistervention. And she explains that a sistervention is everybody getting along, expressing how they feel, and just trying to mend everything together. So Damon is basically saying that the sistervention, it seems like it's good, but he really wants to know how she's doing. He wants the update. And she explains how she went to her doctor, and unfortunately that she has another instance with fibroids, and they're talking about surgery. And now she's really thinking about family and how that's going to play into it. But she's really just the thought of going through another surgery was just draining. And Damon says, when it came to family and having children, that your career really postponed this process. Tambra says that she has to think about everything again, and he does confirm that he's there for her support. But Tambra thinks that they may be able to rekindle things in their relationship. So Tambra invites everybody for this sistervention. We got Melanie, Antoinette, Latrice is over there to speak on certain things that have happened. And the common denominator from the conversation is Marie, and they think Lateshia are like, this dynamic duo that they need to talk about. And Latrice and Antoinette feel like they're not supportive because Marie is a mess, and they talk about women empowerment, but the brunch is a mess. And Tambra helps them to remember that what you're saying doesn't match. It's not the literal brunch itself or Lateshia that you have an issue with. It's specifically with Marie. So to add on this negative kind of thing to, the brunch is this and the brunch is that, it's not the actual event. It's something that you need to speak with Marie about. So it's not fair for the brunch idea and Farish Street endeavors to take the blame, or Lateshia. So Lateshia arrives, and as she arrives, she makes a funny note about saying that she's hoping that she's entering a nice party and not a lion's den. But Antoinette and Latrice quickly share that they both have experiences with Marie and that she's the common denominator. And Lateshia is shocked that the sistervention is for her. Lateshia is confused about why they're trying to take out their frustrations out on her and not talking to Marie directly. Tambra and Antoinette get into a heated debate about sisterhood, about making sure that we empower one another, and we're black and we have to support one another, and aren't you black? And Antoinette says something that was just really rude, and she says, well, are you black? Because you're the one that says that you've never experienced colorism. So it gets so heated that then Tambra's standing up and she's saying, I get paid to talk about these issues, and Antoinette is saying, well, can I pay you to not talk? And Tambra says, well, cut the check. So it gets so bad, and they're standing up and they're arguing back and forth that Latrice and Lateshia had to stand in between them, to calm everybody down, and to just, everybody's getting really passionate about what they're trying to say, and they just try to calm everything down. They agree that they can't talk to one another like that. They've got to come to this common ground of what they're trying to express, and just the arguing back and forth, it has to stop. They're arguing over something that can just be talked about. So everybody cools down, things calm down. Antoinette apologizes for yelling and saying certain things and saying that she was wrong for yelling at her. Both ladies do the same thing. And Antoinette says that she wants to talk to Latrice to the side. So she goes to talk to Latrice in another back room, and she's just saying, I'm just really, really stressed out. It's just a lot going on. I'm overwhelmed. I'm terrified that everything, according to Mint, is not going to follow the deadline. I could go bankrupt because of this endeavor. And if it doesn't work out, not only am I going to be sad about it, I'm going to be bankrupt and I'm going to be embarrassed. And Latrice confirms that there's going to be hiccups here and there when it comes to entrepreneurship. And she has to just kind of just have this faith that everything's going to work out okay and not think about the worst. So just try to calm down. Everything's going to be fine and we'll get it together. But just don't give up on yourself. Stay strong. And that is the end of the episode. Antoinette is proving time and time again that she is messy boots. There is so much to go over when I talk about Antoinette, but I've said it with every review. She is very messy, unfortunately. She'll say one thing to one person and then turn around and say something completely different to others. And then when there's a conflict, she wants to make it seem as if she didn't play part in the endeavor. I'll give you a perfect example. She literally sat down with Lateshia and during Tambra's birthday party and told her, hey, we're going to work as a team for everybody to make sure they can communicate. Everybody's going to do this. Everybody's going to do that. But then you talk about people. It's just, you really got to watch what you say. But it's really surprising to me that she's using as an excuse of lashing out to other people as because of her endeavor concerning Mint and her dental practice. It just seems very hypocritical to me that when you need compassion and you need talking to and you're stressed out, it's okay. You can yell at people, you can curse at people, you can raise your voice, and now you're having this heart-to-heart with Latrice and saying that you're overwhelmed and you're this and that. Why not bring that up to this sisterhood that you so-called have no problem talking about, and we're gonna grow as sisterhood and as this and that, but you pull Latrice to the side? It just seems kind of odd to me. It's just like, do you want to work as a team to get empathy and sympathy from your friends when times are rough, but then you want to shade other people and speak a certain way? Now, Antoinette did mention to Tambra before the end of the episode that this ain't no business. Everything with the brunch and this, it's none of our business. And if Tambra, if you want to be basically kumbaya and trying to make everything right, that's on you. I don't want a part of it. When you say the opposite a lot. So I just hope that Antoinette in real life is looking back at the playback of the episodes and the shows and looking at her behavior, because this comes off as very messy and very off. And I don't like it. I'm happy for her that she's creating this dental practice, but when it comes to her character on this show, what we've seen thus far, doesn't seem too great. I think Tambra was 100% correct in saying that the bottom line is that you ladies have an issue or a conflict that you need to speak to Marie about, which is true. The issue is with Marie. Lateshia hasn't done anything to you. If anything, she's come to Antoinette and says, can we sit down and talk about this, or can we work as a team to make sure everybody communicates? So Tambra is 100% right. Whether you agree with her or not, the truth is, and the fact is, that Latrice has an issue with Marie. Antoinette feels some type of way about Marie specifically. Certain people weren't there at that first brunch. So if you weren't there, you really don't have any say-so on how to approach Marie if you've never had any contact with Marie specifically. And the number one thing that bothers me is, why is Kaylin getting some energy and time on this show? Why? She is not a cast member to the point to where she's the platform of a lot of topics, but she's becoming the platform of a lot of the topics. Has everybody forgotten that Kaylin is the one that created the static and the uncomfortable things that she said at the second brunching? Or it's just me? It seemed like to me, Marie did have her right to kind of express why she was upset. Yes, I think that her emotions got the best of her. But why is Kaylin becoming the spotlight of this show? It really kind of makes me upset. Go away. You don't need to be a part. I understand that Melanie is Latrice's publicist, and she needs to be at a lot of the endeavors. Or does she? Does she have to be there? If you're the publicist right? And you're getting together concerning business endeavors. Why do you need to be in the mix as well? I honestly feel like production maybe threw them in there to add some grease to the fire and maybe just to get stuff going. But we don't need Kaylin and we don't need Melanie. Melanie could be involved when it comes to Latrice calling her concerning business endeavors, but going to the parties and hanging with her and just being there as if she's another cast member. Are you going to add Melanie or not to the cast? If you are, go ahead and ask her. Kaylin doesn't need to be there. I understand that that's Antoinette's friend, but everybody else doesn't have unnecessary friends on the show. Marie has Essie, but her and Essie are actually business partners. You get what I'm saying? So I just hope that they're very careful and not letting Kaylin steal the show. And really, she's takes a lot of the responsible chunk of why a lot of people have not been getting along and creating this static between everyone. And it's just, it's kind of like, why is she there? Tambra's ex. Really, Demond? Really? You say that, because of family, this, because you chose your career, it really postponed your family endeavors. You were with this woman for how long? And you didn't get on knee and propose to nobody. Your default every time when those two start to go on a date and talk about stuff, he says your career, your career, your career. Like, okay, what were you doing? Were you trying to develop your own career? Like, or were you just thinking she wasn't going to evolve and blossom into this career? Like, if you're in a relationship, like two people sharing what they want and maybe like future ideas and things like that, where you just kind of sitting around and just kind of like being there, then Tambra talks about how their romance fizzled and all this other stuff. It's just like watching a slow car wreck. It's like, girl, Tambra, don't get with your ex because that's your option. That's the option that you got on the table, and you just, I'll take that because I know this guy. And I mean, no, if the romance is not there and marriage, which is what you want, right? Tambra, you said that you want marriage and you want to have a husband before you have a baby. Are you spending time with your ex? Because them trying to rekindle and all that other stuff, he just doesn't seem like a good pick for her. Why you didn't propose, homie? Why you didn't try to marry her? Like your default every time is if you're trying to guilt trip her because she pursued a career. Like, it just seems very, I can't even think of the word, but the nerve of him to say, well, you wanted to develop a career, and because men aren't seen in that light. It's like a norm for a man to pursue his career and everything like that, and not think twice because you're not physically having the baby. But now that you have somebody that is potentially someone that's going to be a triple threat when it comes to television, hosting, all of that good stuff, and now that she's talking about family, well, you chose your career. Like, it just seems very rude, misogynistic, all that stuff. I'm not really feeling her ex like that, because what were you doing in the meantime? You twiddling your thumbs while she was developing her career? And do you have your career developed? I'm asking for a friend. I'm just curious. Marie, that husband of yours has to go. It's very suspect. And I honestly think that maybe that husband of yours has another relationship going on. Clearly, there's some double life situations that are happening when you're gone for days at a time. Like, who does that? And why are you putting up with someone who sees that as okay and just pops up whenever, comes home whenever? It's very dangerous and reckless. And I hope it's not another situation where this is the only person that I know, so let me just stay with them. It's very toxic, very unhealthy, and it's very sad that she always mentions that he's never around when she's sick and not feeling well and not getting the help that she wants. What is the point? Divorce ASAP. Like, ASAP. Also, Jerez, like, wow. I mean, it's great to see that he's coming along and being more responsible. I like the fact that Marie says, hey, look, I'm the grandparent. I'm not the parent. You guys have to communicate and speak more and do all of these things. It also throws up a red flag in, where are the baby's mother's parents? Where they at? I get Marie was just like, look, I'm just helping in how I can help by bringing over someone that can talk to us and sit everybody down, everybody can voice their opinions. I understand that, but is that their only outlet? Because they keep calling Marie. Like, do they not have any other family or anything? I'm just really, really confused. I just hope that Jerez steps up as a dad and he's not using school as an escape, because clearly I said in the other review that it's very evident he went to a school that was 3 hours away because he was running away from the baby's mamas and them kids. Because if he had went to the school that Marie was suggesting that wasn't that far, he knew that he would be available, not that far, and that he'd be able to watch the kids and do whatever. So it's very evident that he's running from his responsibilities and he's using school as an excuse. Well, I'm 3 hours away, so I can't be there all the time. Ooh, it just seems very, very, very off balance when it comes to that. And hopefully he'll have more of a male influence when it comes to helping him concerning responsibility, because he did talk about his birth dad. Where's his biological dad? And why isn't he coming to these meetings and these family talks? I'm just really interested in that and why he's not around. Where's his dad? Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and also stay tuned for Queen Sugar and the new add-in show that I'm adding to the playlist, Delilah, which will debut on the OWN network from the writers and creators of Greenleaf. So I'm going to check out this show, do a recap and review, and see if it tickles my fancy and if I like it. Let me know if you guys like this show as well, and look out for those editions. Make sure you click the notification bell so you don't miss the post, and check it out. Let me know what you think. If you're already watching the show on your own from the OWN network, make sure you check out my review to see if you agree with me. Leave some comments. And until then, take care of yourself and each other. Love y'all. Bye.